What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Crazy Flyer 175 YouTube channel. Tonight we're going to be doing a nice easy VFR flight from Marion Municipal Airport in Marion, Ohio up to Burke Lakefront. It's a little under 90 miles, should be about maybe 30 minutes at the most. We already got the airplane ready to go, flight plan's in. It'll be a simple VFR direct. We're going to climb up to an altitude of, going eastbound, we'll go about 5,500 feet. We got that set. We'll be departing runway 25 here. Winds are 320 at 7 knots, so a little bit of crosswind from the right, but nothing bad. Alright, we are clear for traffic all around as I can see. And there's one thing I forgot to do last time we flew the Mooney, and that is noise canceling headset. Check that out, guys. A little bit quieter, a little easier on the ears for us. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and turn the lights on and fuel pump. Pitot heat's not required. We're gonna bring the mixture to rich. Again, all our pre-flight checks are already done. We are ready to go. Marion traffic standby. I forgot what my tail number was. Marion traffic, Mooney 951 Juliet, taking off, runway 25, Marion. Alright, we're lined up, runway heading, matching heading indicator. Here we go. Alright, takeoff power is set. Airspeed's alive, gauge is green. And there's 75. We are rotating. Alright, we are positive rate out of usable runway. Gears coming up. It's a nice, calm evening tonight. Marion traffic, Mooney. I already forgot it. Marion traffic, Mooney 951 Juliet. Left crosswind, runway 25. We'll be departing the area to the northeast. Marion traffic. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn kind of a downwind departure going up to the northeast. Alright, we're up and away from the airport here. We'll kind of set our climb power about 2,400 RPM. Fuel pump off. And we are on course. I'm just going to reactivate a direct for us. We do have Class Bravo airspace to deal with. I think we're going to go up to the north side and follow along the shoreline for the Cleveland Class Bravo airspace. Alright guys, and I'm feeling lazy tonight, so we're going to use our autopilot. So I'm going to kind of get us on course here. We're going to set a vertical speed, nice easy climb, like 800 feet per minute. And our autopilot, as you can see, is already on. We'll just activate nav mode. Our CDI is in GPS, so that'll follow our navigation we got set up here on the GPS. As we climb, we'll increase the power slightly. This engine is non-turbocharged, so we lose about an inch of manifold pressure for every 1,000 feet we climb. So I just gradually increase the throttle back up as we climb. Eventually it'll be back to full throttle as we climb. And our manifold pressure gauge is right here. I'm just maintaining it around 24 inches. yeah, what a nice evening. Nice, calm, relaxing flight. I'm just going to glance over at my charts here real quick. So guys, it's been about a week since I began attempting YouTube and Twitch, and it's been a pretty fun week. You know, I had a couple of days of work in there that I wasn't producing, but otherwise I've put out a fair number of videos, and I'm really enjoying it. It is a fun hobby to produce content. Let's see, we're leveling off here at 5,500. I need to lean the mixture out a little bit. Alright, there, we're going to do a best power setting today on the mixture. With Mooney's, I think you can take it lean and peak, and then you'll get some pretty awesome fuel efficiency. I'm just going to leave it rich peak though. We get best power. It's a pretty short flight anyways. So, alright, 2400 RPM, 24 inches manifold. We're going to do a quick cruise. As you can see here as we look at the GPS, 165 knots, still climbing. It's only going to take us all about 26 minutes, and even less than that at our cruising speed here. Mooney's pretty quick little airplane for being a single engine, piston engine. It's not bad, it goes pretty quick. Sun's just about set, it's getting close out there. Thankfully we're not flying right into it. That's one thing, you know, when you're flying later in the evening or early morning, the sunlight can just be right in that place, especially since you're up in an airplane. The horizon is lower compared to like if you're driving, and sometimes sunrise and sunset, they're beautiful, don't get me wrong, but they can be brutal if you're flying right into it. You gotta have really good sunglasses, and you know, thankfully the airplane that I fly at work, we've got sunshades and things like that we can put up that help make it less brutal with that sunlight right in your face. But you do see some pretty awesome sunsets from the air and sunrises. Probably my favorite time of the day to fly. Alright, so once we're a little closer to Cleveland, let me see if I can maybe show it here on our moving map display. You can see we got these blue rings. This is Class Bravo airspace. You can fly through it if you get permission from air traffic control. Today, my plan is we're going to fly under it. So you can kind of see here along the shoreline, and maybe even just a little bit off the shoreline, we've got a shelf here that starts at 3,000 feet, goes up to about 8,000 feet. And so my plan is we'll just kind of fly below that shelf. We'll sidestep over here to the north, and we'll fly below that 3,000 foot shelf, just kind of off the shoreline, within gliding distance of the shore, but off the shoreline, and we'll enter Burke Lakefront kind of from the west. Burke Lakefront's pretty cool. Airport's right on the shoreline of, what is this, Lake Erie. Yeah, it's a cool airport right next to downtown Cleveland. I think we'll have a lot of fun getting in there. $5,500 feet. Loving our cruise speed. So let's see, we go out of that 179, basically 180 knots. Yeah, that's roughly equivalent to maybe 205 or so miles per hour. That's not bad. That's pretty quick for a small airplane like this. Turn off our landing and taxi lights now while we're cruising. We're not in the airport environment at the moment. So I wonder here, I don't have a waypoint selected for the GPS. I think what we'll do, let's add we're going to add this waypoint here. I'm going to go ahead and add that to our flight plan. We're actually going to activate direct to it. And then we'll go here to I also like BABA right there into our flight plan. Here, I'm going to do it this way. So let's see, what was our identifier for that waypoint? BABBA? BABA. Flight plane here just before Burke Lakefront. We'll insert before BABA. Alright, and we are currently direct to Gerald. I don't know how they say that one. Insert before Gerald, probably. Yeah, that'd be Gerald, I guess. So there we're direct to Gerald, and then BABA, and then Burke Lakefront. Let's just make sure here to look at our flight plan. Yep, and that looks like that's working. So we got to be careful here. We would just kind of skim the edge of this lower shelf that goes down to 1,900 feet. So when we get up here, we'll probably go heading mode. And we'll put just a couple miles outside of our course, and that'll keep us out of that 1,900 foot shelf. We're going to descend to 2,500 feet while we cruise underneath this shelf, going up to Burke Lakefront. Now, in real life, I would still talk to air traffic control. I don't have any real air traffic control in the sim, so I would talk to him in real life. Tonight, we'll be pretty quiet on the radios as we cruise below the Class Bravo. Alright guys, we are starting to get pretty close to the edge of Class Bravo. Now the outer shelf right here begins at 6,000 feet. Actually I lied, it begins at 5,000. So yeah, we'll start our descent here. Actually, let's go ahead and start a descent now. We'll just do a nice gradual descent down to 2,500 feet. We'll make sure we stay outside of that Class Bravo. There's 2,500 set. We'll go vertical speed. Start off nice and easy, like 300 feet per minute. Nice shallow descent. And I'm just going to reduce our throttle a little bit. You can see that manifold pressure gauge coming down. It's kind of like, essentially your throttle is like the gas pedal in your car. Pulling that back a little bit. We're just reducing the engine power. This blue knob here controls how fast the propeller is rotating, and in turn how fast the engine's rotating. So you can kind of think of that, that's like your gear shift lever in a way. It's controlling how fast the propeller is spinning. It adjusts the pitch of the propeller blades to keep the engine spinning at a certain RPM. In this case, I have it set for 2,400 RPM. Excuse me. Yeah, man, pretty sunset. A little hazy out here. You know, it's not quite seeing the details of the ground super clearly. But you can see all the fields down there. Alright, we're getting closer to that airspace, so we're going to increase our rate of descent now. Just to make sure we don't inadvertently enter the airspace. Actually, we'll do this, we're just going to zoom in. Keep that on there. So we got 5,000 feet there. Next shelf is at 4,000 feet, and then 3,000 feet. So it steps down 1,000 feet for each of those shelves of the Class Bravo airspace. And they have this airspace set up to protect the Cleveland International Airport there. All the airliners and bigger jets that fly in there gives them protected airspace for their approaches into Cleveland. So you can see as you get closer to the airport, to Cleveland here, that Class Bravo goes all the way to the surface. And then, as the airport, or as the bigger airplanes are farther away from the central airport, they're generally not as low of an altitude. So that's why they kind of create the less controlled airspace that's below the Class Bravo airspace. Not to bore you with too many details of the national airspace systems. That's what flight instructors are for. Alright guys, so we are below that first shelf of the Class Bravo. We're well below 5,000, so we are outside of the airspace. And now we're below 4,000, so we'll be good for that next one as well. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna look up my weather frequency for Burke Lakefront. I swear I can talk. It's 125.25. So we're gonna come down here to the secondary radio. 125.25. And we'll listen to that.
Burke Lakefront information pop-up. 0 100 Zulu weather. Wind 260 at 6. Visibility 9.
2992.
Sky clear. Temperature 2.20. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runways 24 right, 24 left. Departing runways 24 right, 24 left. Advise on initial contact you have pop-up.
Alright, information pop on the landing runways 24 left and right.
Burke Lakefront information
260
pop-up.
at 6.
0
Okay,
Zulu
looks pretty
weather.
nice.
Wind 260 at 6.
There you can kind of see some of the city lights of Cleveland and the freeways showing up there. Hopefully we'll get a nice view of the downtown area. See some of the traffic on that road down there. There, the sun's just starting to set. Let's get a cool outside view. Watch your ears, it might get a little bit loud. I went ahead and just turned on our landing lights and taxi lights since we're getting pretty close to Cleveland area. Helps make our airplane a little bit easier to see for other people. Alright, there we're leveled off 2,500 feet. So we'll be staying at this altitude until we're just about to our landing airport. Let's see, we got an airport right here in front of us. As you can kind of see just right there above the cowling. Let's see what airport that is. So looking at my chart here, that is the Marion County Regional Airport. And it looks like it's got some special flight rules. I'll have to look that up later. I'm not sure what the special flight rules are for. Let's see. Do we have a note about it? I'll have to look it up. That's interesting. I didn't even notice that there was a special flight rules airport right there. I'll look it up later. When you look at a aeronautical chart, a sectional chart, if the airport has a box around the name of the airport on the chart, that indicates there's some special rules specific to that airport or that area. They're not super common. I'm just surprised to see one here in Cleveland. But I'm looking at the chart and I don't see any notes about it anywhere close by. So Maybe it's just because it's in close proximity to Canada, maybe, but I don't see any other special flight rules airports nearby. Let's switch over to the terminal area chart here. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't know why it's a special flight rules airport. I'll have to look it up later. Well, now you're starting to see some more of the city lights. And if you look way out there, you can kind of just see the approach lights to Cleveland International Airport. I was surprised you could see them. You'd be surprised at nighttime sometimes. The airport is like the hardest thing to see. You know, they got a lot of runway lights, things like that, but it is surprisingly hard sometimes to locate an airport at night, especially if it's, you know, within a condensed like city urban area. It can be a little bit tricky to spot airports sometimes at nighttime. That's why we use, you know, in the commercial aviation world, they're generally using instrument approaches and you know, radio navigation and things like that to help guide you to the airport. Things like an ILS or a VOR, or you know, even a GPS approach. Alright guys, so we're getting pretty close here as we pull this up. So again, this shelf right here is the one that begins at 1900 feet, as you can see right there. So we got to stay outside of that ring, and so I'm going to come down here to our heading indicator. I'm going to set our heading bug just a little bit to the left of our course, come down to the autopilot, and go into heading mode. And then we're going to stay a little bit to the left of the course that we drew on the GPS to stay outside of that protected airspace, the class Bravo. That's a pretty sunset. Got some good colors to it. Alright, so here's our shoreline of Lake Erie. We're going to stay a little bit offshore for our guidance. In fact, it looks like, I mean, our protected airspace, that class Bravo at 1900 feet, does go a few miles offshore. So, let's be careful about that. We'll be over the water, but with our speed and altitude, we should still be at a position where we could glide over to the shoreline if something were to happen with the engine. And kind of lean over here. That might be our airport over here. It's kind of hard to tell. Let me lean over this way. Yeah, I don't know if I see it quite yet. We're getting close. Let's go ahead and tune up our air traffic control tower frequency for Lakefront. And their frequency is 124.3. 430. And we'll start listening in, and we'll call them up here real shortly. Alright, that looks like that puts us at a pretty safe distance off the class Bravo, so we're going to start turning over this way now. We're, I don't know, maybe a mile or two to the left of our course, so we're protected there. I'm going to anticipate runway 24 right, more than likely. Or pull up the airport diagram for Burke Lakefront as well. Diagram. Yeah, we'll plan runway 24 right. So what I'm going to do here, just to get ready for it, I'm going to go procedure, approach, and we're just going to load a visual approach with some guidance to runway 24 right. And we're just going to load it for now. But when we're closer, that'll just give us a little bit of guidance on our navigation display here. To help line us up with the runway. I could do it very easily in this airplane without that, but why not use every resource that we have? Alright, we're going to start turning over to the right. About 090 heading. We're looking for our airport. Actually, I think it's over here a little bit more. We're closer than I think. Alright, we'll go ahead and call tower. Lakefront Tower, Mooney 951 Juliet is about 10 miles to the west, inbound with full stop with Tango. Alright, we'll enter right downwind, runway 24, Mooney 951 Juliet. Alright, we're around kind of that corner there, so we're going to start turning back in towards our course. We're well outside of that Bravo airspace, so we're going to start heading towards shore. About that heading right there should be good. Back, we'll just keep it on heading for now. Alright, so Lakefront Airport sits at 584 feet. So our traffic pattern altitude is going to be about 1,600 feet. But it's just about 1,000 feet above the ground. So I'm going to set this down about 1,600 feet. And we'll start a descent here real shortly. Alright, I see the airport now. If you look right here, you see that little green light? Now it's flashing white. Now it's flashing green. That's the airport beacon. That's kind of the easiest way to spot airports. And now that I see it, I can actually see the white lights that are the runway. So we've got our airport in sight. I'm going to go ahead and start the descent now. About 500 feet per minute should be good. And we're going to reduce our throttle back. And for landing, we got the lights on, fuel pumps coming on. We're going to get the mixture and prop switch here in a second. Alright, so we got the power back now, about 16 inches of manifold pressure. And we're going to enter right downwind, runway 24. There's downtown Cleveland, right here. Reduce the throttle a little bit more. So as the airplane levels off, it'll naturally start slowing down. We are a little bit fast. This is a fast airplane, but I think we'll be good. Alright. We also need, I forgot to switch fuel tanks in the flight, so we're going to do that. We're a little bit, actually almost 10 gallons difference, but the airplane should still be easily flyable. Alright, we're off the autopilot now. We're going to turn downwind. we're going to bring the propeller and the mixture smoothly up to rich and full forward. And here we're going to activate our visual approach, 2-4 right. Alright, so we are just about at the end of the runway. We are just inside of our gear speed, below 140. So gear down, the white handle there by the GPS. Looking for a green light on the panel. Right here. Red's gone, green light, green indicator. We got gear down. Let's actually keep slowing down, go to about 100 knots here. There, that's a little better. And at about 100 knots, notch of flaps coming in. We're going to turn right base now. And tower just clears land. Mooney 951, Juliet's cleared land 24 right. Okay. Cops speeding down the highway there. Alright, so here's our base leg. Let's see how we're looking. I don't see my airport. There it is. Right on. Right where we want to be. Alright, we're going to bring the flaps into full. There's our runway. So you can see here, I've got the guidance and it's lining me up real well with that runway. And then these little yellow pointers here show me if I'm high or low. And we're about right on right now. Alright, we're clear to land. Gear down in the green. Flaps are full. And we're clear to land. Alright, we're at about 500 feet. We already got a stabilized approach. See all the traffic down there. Now as I come down, I just make small corrections with the power and the pitch of the airplane. I like to be about 80 knots, right about here. Nice and stable approach. Love the scenery at night. Alright, gear green, clear runway. Here's our runway. And power's out. Hold it off. Yeah, that was a little firm. Not bad though. Well, everybody, welcome to Cleveland, Burke Lakefront Airport. We'll take our next taxiway here. All right. We'll clean up the airplane here. Those turned off. Turn off our landing lights. All right, guys. Well, we made it. Thanks for joining along on this short flight. Hopefully, we'll see you again soon. Thanks for joining watching the channel. Have a fantastic day. We'll see ya.